last time we ended up with resolving the problem of leakage on all these 3 quicksilver tanks, and also reading accuracy, especially close to 0. It was a huge epos, let's say, about all these problems, and the problem of leakage resolved. We considered it resolved, but the accuracy reading we are testing. We agreed to test, and guys, what I found quite interesting things. We agreed that we test here in this boat on SC1000 gauges and WIMA fuel gauge also, but guys, I found quite interesting screens for SC1000 speedometer, and it changed things entirely. I had a few videos about speedometer, tachometers. For some reason I missed this screen that shows how much fuel you still remain in the tank, not used but remain, and for how long distance it will be enough. So I am about to try to find again, or maybe not again, these screens on these gauges, and if I do, then we test much more things. Well guys, I recalled these things are tested. Everything about the fuel management, remaining fuel, remaining distance with that fuel, it's all about fuel tanks that can be read by Smartcraft system. So this input should be from Smartcraft. It's not about like we set our external tank for 25 liters and it's like a kind of software that calculate it here. No, you can do this on some units like this one, but here this is about the input from the Smartcraft. So the only things you can see here is like fuel consumption right now, liters per hour, or for kilometers or miles, if you provide GPS here. I have video about it. And used fuel, but you cannot say like remaining fuel. For that the system should know your tank, and this tank should be connected to Smartcraft. That's the point. Yeah, so let's go on tests. Guys, these screens about low fuel alarm about this thing that we cannot have on our engines, outboards, they appear when you put like here that you have a fuel tank. So you should set it that you don't have it. And you guys see that now we don't have, we just have this instant consumption related with having GPS. We have this trip that I will reset right now. Yeah, so if fuel used, I will reset also that. Yeah, and we don't have any alarms and low fuel anymore. So I was wondering where these screens are here. Yeah, they are when you set that you have fuel tank and you set it here. Okay guys, let's go on test after all, finally. Well guys, I'm ready to test them. I fill this with 23 liters. This one was 23 liters. One was empty, another was with some amount of fuel. 23 and 12 full tank. I am concerned to add all 25 here. It's really much. Yeah, I don't know. It will come even from here, especially if hot weather. I'm a little bit concerned to fill them up to 25. And guys, look what I just did. I finished this project to make this portable weatherproof gauge for fuel gauge. Watch the link in the description. Actually, just watch step by step all videos in this fuel tank playlist and you will see this project as well. It was tested for leakage Well guys, if you followed this project, you remember how I tested without that. It was and now I have that nice solution. This is for connecting this fuel sender, and this is for the charger. Yeah, there's the battery inside. It nice. Yeah, now everything will be nice. And we have this wooden piece, and we checked that it's straight. So let's see what we see. Well, here we see full tank, 23 liters. Well, let it be full. Inclination doesn't add anything to our measurements. Guys, I didn't install this Cascus gauge on my board. Instead of this, I installed Vima, because you can see it blinks. It's difficult to read. It's a kind of problem with this lens. Okay, let's go to the next one. So that one gone to the board. We will soon see what we see in the board. So it was with the black nitrile gasket, and here with the green Viton. Yeah, that's how I distinguish them. Now let's just see what it shows. Well guys, that's quite interesting. Not a full tank, quite different. Well guys, if I remember right, a couple of videos before this project, we tested for 1 hour. It was a huge test, different solutions about measurement accuracy. It was 1 hour video. Watch it. So, and if I remember right, there was the sender. I do remember that there was the sender with bigger dead zone, and if I remember right, this sender with the bigger dead zone gone to that fuel tank with the black ceiling. I will say this in the description, and probably in the next part of this video you will hear this already. So yeah, that's quite interesting. But when we do a little inclination, we already see full tank. Yeah, let's finally test this one. Well guys, before we go on this 12 liters tank, yes, I reviewed my material from previous video, and yes, here in this green gasket tank we have the sender with a little bit broken black floating element, and with the big dead zone. So, and there in the board we have the sender with the smaller dead zone. In both cases we have additional floating element that we added in previous videos. Yeah guys, well actually we don't have full tank, we have 23, not 25. So from one point of view this shows better, but yeah, I don't know, we need to test it. I just put notes for myself that here we have 23, and here with green gasket we have the sender with the greater, bigger dead zone. Let's go on this one, 12 liters tank. Yeah, it shows perfectly full tank, but it's about nothing, because if you watched the previous episodes, we had here 4 liters, 12 liters tank, 4 liters, 1/3, and we didn't see any movement. So yeah, we need actually to test this in the board. And look, if I do this inclination this way, we see that. So we need to test this in the board. It will be very interesting to see how it behaves. I think next part of this video will be already on the fishing trip where we test them. About 4 liters that are not indicated on the gauge. I will now include a part, half-minute part of test in the board, because it wasn't included to the previous video. I also decided to test in the board, but in the board it has this position. So if inclination on the starboard side, then it even worse. If on the port side, then probably we can detect these 4 liters, but now we can't, so no miracles here. Yeah, quite useless. So I installed this 23 liters tank with the sender with small dead zone here for experiments in the board. And let's first take a look how much we see here on our portable gauge. A little bit more than full tank. Yeah, and now let's see what we see. What is indication on the board. Well, inclination is 2 degrees from previous experiment. When I shake the board, we see this value. Yeah, I don't know how to treat it, but that's what we see. Well, I reset this SC1000s, and first of all, what will be interesting for us when we see half tank, when we see 12, wait, 23, we have 20.5, when we see 10.5 consumed, yeah, when we see 10.5 consumed, we are interested to see half tank here. That's the first what we check. Maybe in the middle way we also check some other stuff. So look, when you are parked in this way on the sand beach, just a little bit in a normal way, we have pitch 5. So we have pitch 5, yeah, and we see full tank with 23 liters, and I reset all indication. .5 liters used, so now we have to discuss this. We are interested in 10.5 because this is half tank. The tank is 25, half tank is 12.5. We fill it up to 23, so it means that when 10.5 is used, it should be half tank, right? This is the right math. Yeah, so it is almost 10 p.m. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, that's Finland. Yeah, but we don't see half tank. Pitch is 3 degrees. Well, it's not good that we see more than half tank, of course. But maybe it will be different with the 0 then. So, and here, by the way, we see we see 10.1 liters, not 10.5, because I switched off Lawrence when I was trying to figure out some things with autopilot. Yeah, something is happening wrong now. Well, it was about 8 hours, I guess, and 30.5 kilometers. Yep. Well, I don't know what next. Let's see. Fish is still there. (10:30 p.m. fixing some problems with autopilot today and testing, and so I don't remember if I recorded yesterday data in the evening, but we used already that amount, and it still shows sometimes almost half tank, which is not true because we had 23 liters filled, so we still have a little bit, quite a little there. Well, look guys, I am still testing autopilot here, and look what we have. 19 is used, which means that the remaining fuel is just 4 liters, but we have that indication here. What is that? What is wrong here or there? I don't know. Well, I probably will replace the tank based on this. I don't know yet, but we will see. Okay, I want to check it. Guys, it's definitely not 4 liters there. It's almost half here, and when I'm trying to check it, no, it's not true. And guys, I think because I used high speed quite a lot yesterday, I think actually that on the high speed it shows too much. Yeah, I was thinking that it shows too much on the low speed, but no, it seems that on the low and on the high speed all the problems began. That is quite interesting. Let's see how it goes. Well, yesterday was day without fishing, testing for autopilot, configuring virtual feedback, rudder feedback again. So now let's check what is the situation. Yeah, so guys, I checked there. Yeah, it's half, about half, little bit less. I took another one, the smaller one, with me, but I think I should trust this one, because we remember that we see 0 when we have 8 liters. Yeah, so I think it is absolutely wrong. No, I don't not think, but it is absolutely wrong. I don't know why. So here is less, but I guess that when GPS is off and it doesn't calculate consumption, it doesn't show, it doesn't the counter, I think, is there inside, and memory is there inside, not in the engine itself, so it doesn't increment this counter. That's how I think. Yeah, so because here is just about running hours, so hours is running and a calculation is happening. But yeah, okay, I explained everything. So I think it is absolutely rubbish idea to use this. Let's see what will happen. I was busy with autopilot settings and missed 23 liters. So we already consumed all our 23 liters according to the SC1000. Yeah, so 23 and 4, and here 22 and 608 difference, because this GPS was switched off. So calculation is definitely wrong. We have we know that 8 liters, so we are on the normal 3-degree pitch, so, and we know that we see 0, absolutely 0, like less than this red one, when we have about 8 liters. Well, now probably with this new additional floating and better resolution sensor, we see it about 5 liters or something like that, but here it's definitely much more. So we need to do more tests about this stuff, but I heard that yeah, they show more, and actually it looks like on the high speed profile they show more than real usage. Let's keep waiting until we have the 0. Yeah, it might be a little bit challenging to change tanks on the way. I cannot stop when I have planners installed, but it's like in Formula 1. Yeah, once I already did this, just 5 seconds, one tank big here, another there, of course with engine shut off. Yeah, but now I have the second tank, as you have seen, right there, so it should be not a problem. Yeah, but it's always a little bit scaring if you cannot start engine after that. And then all rods, all gone, and everything is mixed. Mess. A huge mess will be. Okay, let's see. So now let's take a look. Here we have almost 25 liters, here 24. Yeah, and we have that amount here. Yeah, right. Okay, that's time. Yeah, and we actually have pitch 2 degrees. So, and we start seeing only 0 here, 28 and 2 used. That's quite interesting. However, when I try to do some inclination by hand, I don't want to show you right now, and there you can also see not fully empty. When I try to raise it and do some angle, then I see the first and even second movement. And in previous experiments, or probably even in this video, we recognize that we cannot detect any movement with 3.5 liters. We need 4. Then we can detect some movement in high angle, quite high, if I remember right. I'm not sure. Yeah, so it's at least 3 liters, but I believe it's about 8 liters according to, I don't know according to what actually. Yeah, so but I opened and I checked this. So I hope to finish trolling with this gasoline, and then we see that is huge mistake here. But I'm crossing. Okay, so guys, that's the time. I don't remember what was time in the previous shot. So we see 0, constant 0 here. We see 30 liters used from 23 that we had. Yeah, well, I don't want to test with my leg, but believe me, wait a moment. Yeah, this angle, and I see the first movement there, which means that we have at least 4 liters, and it should be enough for 4 hours. So I continue trolling with that amount of fuel. But guys, it's so inconvenient to see 0 if I can still trolling 4 hours. Well guys, it's 7 p.m. and we used 32 liters from 23 that we had. And now when I have any inclination, for example like this, yeah, I don't see any movement, which means that we have less than 4 liters there. That's the moment when you begin worry about well, when you have to change the tank, because I cannot change it when I'm on the way with planners. It's quite not difficult, it's quite scaring. Well, you should brave to do this. It's just switch, take it from there and put it here, nothing more. Still, yeah, if engine will not start, I don't want to mess all rods. So guys, it's definitely showing terribly wrong numbers, and I finally will switch to 12 liters, and I think I will go on this 12 liters tank mostly on the high speed to the cottage. There, then there. Did you get where? Well, me neither. So, and we will check measurements for the 12 liters tank, because in the previous video we have seen that 12 liters tank on the trolling, it's quite fine, quite accurate, those measurements, but I think it's all about the high speed. Well, all fish is done. It's half past, so it's almost 9 p.m. Yeah, so if I do any angle, I don't feel any fuel, probably 1 liter or so. I will try to take out of the water all planners, and let's see if I will succeed on this fuel, yeah, with 34 liters. Well guys, I managed to drive with this fuel up to 9:30 p.m. Okay, yeah, so, and we used 35 liters from 23. Yeah, and I feel now that we have almost nothing, maybe 1 liter. So all planners are gone. That's fine. Yeah, so I'm going to remove this tank. Stop and remove this tank, so it's easy now, I don't worry. And then we will check how much fuel we still have there. I believe it's something like 0.7 liters or something like that. Well, and then I will do some calculation about how many hours we spent with that fuel, yeah, and so on. Let's see. It was doing psh, psh, so much. I don't know why. So well, we have this 12 liters tank, yeah, and of course it shows full tank. What else it can show with this, with that inclination, yeah. So we previously tested this on the trolling only, and it was, am I on autopilot? No. And it was quite okay to show exact measurements. Oh guys, by the way, I need to reset. Yeah, well, so now let me tell you, so it was quite okay, and I'm now going to the station, to my cottage, and it's about half hour, so we will drive on the high speed. So we will check what will happen with this small tank, and I think happen something worse. Yeah, guys, by the way, we need to fix these numbers. So on the previous tank, that number and that number, and well, and that number. I don't believe that we have that high number. Well, yeah, it's summertime, almost summer. So now reset. Don't think that I didn't reset. I reset everything. So now go to our location. Well, save jacket for sure. Yeah, and that one. Yep. let's now take a look on the yesterday results. So, and this tank we already fixed. The results is really empty, almost air only there. So we are interested about this one, how much we consumed yesterday, because I plan to travel the same way back and see how much we will get. So guys, here we see more than half tank, but it's about nothing. And position is that one, and we remember that the center there was quite problematic. Yeah, so, and it says we used half tank 6, and here 5 and 8. Guys, I didn't switch GPS, so that's something interesting. Yeah, I don't believe that I will use another 6, means full tank, on the way back. Yeah, so here is the trip. I believe it is yesterday trip. Both I reset yesterday, I don't remember, but when I edit my video I will know this. Yeah, so here is the trip, the same trip from GPS, I guess, and that is just ours without paddle sensor. So let's take a look what happens. I reset trips, not gauges. I reset trips also there. So, feature 6, that was our cruise speed. I'm on exactly the same place as yesterday started, and we used 13 from 12. Yeah, and 12.6 here. Yeah, it shows now 0. We couldn't use 13 from 12, of course. I have to check now what is there inside. So guys, yes, I checked, it's almost empty, but I think probably 1 or 2 liters still there. I will now replace that one, and I will check how much fuel we still have, but just as a reminder, that is the current usage we see here, and so kilometers. Yeah, usage, and that's trip. I think that's what we reset today. Yeah, that is something that we forgot to reset, and probably that's from today morning. Yep. So pitch is 3, that's what we see. 23 liters tank installed. bad weather forced me to go out and drive on the high speed for quite a time. So now I'm trying to set all my rigs for fishing again, but it's too late, 5 p.m. The interesting is that we should see half tank when we spend 10.5 liters, because we have 23 liters in the tank of 25, so 12 and half should be middle when 10.5 spent. Yeah, we don't see it again. Yeah, there we lost some 0.4 liters again somehow, so I'm not sure why. Yeah, so that's what we have at the moment. We have some fish near my downriggers, and that's it. Well, and half tank we see now here. Yeah, it should be when we used 10.5, but actually we used 13. Yeah, so we should have 12.5 according to this. Let's memorize the results. And yeah, it was the day trip. It was 2 times run from the storm weather. So it was quite a mess trip, but a lot of fast driving. Yeah, I think it should be the same. Yeah. So, and that's what we have. By the way, inclination is 3, pitch is 3. So 19 and 2 used totally wrong. Because we had 20, because we have quite much here. Yeah. So, and here, yeah, and the difference already 0.7. Something is happening wrong here. Okay, that's it. Yeah, well guys, I actually don't remember what was several days ago. I just remember that it was 23 tank and it is really empty. It's just air there, so we spent it all. And I remember that we had some really huge measurements by SC1000, wrong measurements. And this was the small tank where I remember, if I remember right, we have seen 13 liters when I disconnected, and this is 12 liters tank, yeah, and 12 liters was there, and we have about 2.7, something like that, liters left. I will do all conclusions in the description because I don't remember anything. Yeah, so, and let's see what next. Well guys, I do the following conclusion. In that tank that we left there, the third tank, so first I used 25 liters tank with 23 liters, and is totally empty, and we will do conclusions in the description, but it is clear that SC1000 will show you wrong numbers. If you drive on the high speed, on the trolling it will be better. Previously I have been thinking that it is vice versa, but not. Then I connected 12 liters tank. So, and you also followed through this video the same things. So we spent something like I don't remember how much, but more than 12, and we still have it there. And then I connected another 25 liters tank with 23 liters, and I have about half tank there, so I don't want to continue this experiment. It's already clear that SC1000, actually not SC1000, but I think Smartcraft or something else on the engine side, calculate account consumption quite wrong when you drive on the high speed. So you have to have individual gauge that will show you how much fuel remains. And I will continue fighting for the right measurements, especially close to zero, This will follow in next episode, so if you're not subscribed yet, then subscribe. And I think that's all in this video. So thank you, bye.